The following is a presentation of TFNN. Time to talk about your health. Living a primal lifestyle.
You know, we have Tom from Tampa on the phone. Hey, Tom. Good morning. It's bright and early now, huh?
Hey, thanks. Good. How you guys doing, Nico?
Doing great.
Good. Hey, your newsletter's outstanding, man. I'm telling you, man, it is outstanding. And so is the Primal Edge. I love that stuff. I'd never be without it. I mean, I've been on it now 3-4 months, man. I mean, it's just, I can't get over how good I feel.
Primal Edge is, people are raving about it. People who are trying it, they know because you can feel it.
Would not be without it.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Now your hosts, Nico Haan and Paige Clark.
Good morning, I'm Nico Haan, and welcome to Living a Primal Lifestyle, where we explore a return to a more balanced and natural wild world.
To recover our natural health and regain our rights and freedoms. Good morning. I'm Paige Clark.
And it's a beautiful morning in downtown St. Petersburg. It happens to be 60-some degrees,
That's
I think.
perfect.
63 degrees and clear skies. Yeah, it's really nice. Warms up into the mid-70s. So, yeah, get in the sun today. That's really important. I'd like to remind you, first of all, pick up our Health Signals newsletter, which I don't have out yet. We had some problems with the computer downloading it with all this stock stuff going on.
But it really follows our show, and it keeps you informed, and we kind of collate articles that we think are important for you to read.
And also, please pick up our Primal Edge, our one-shot wonder, over 310 organic, cell-ready, liquid ingredients, all powered by fulvic and humic acid to get the good stuff in.
And the bad stuff off.
And particularly good today because of the virus that's being around.
That's exactly right, or the ability to bind to the viruses and help escort them out of the body.
Yeah, so pick that up. It's only $89 a month, and you're going to be assured that you're going to stay healthy.
That's right. And give us a call if you're up and at it, 877-927-6648. The sevens are hard for me to say.
Yeah,
my jaw work,
you got a lot of
I'm
things in
giving
your
it a
mouth.
college try. Hey, give us an update, because everyone's talking about the coronavirus.
Yeah, well, currently 73,434 confirmed cases worldwide. Fatalities, or that's the cases. No, that's the wrong one, excuse me. That was the one I had captured, and the real numbers are 92,138. Fatalities are 3,134. And I got this from BNO, which is a website that kind of tracks the world, and they got a timeline on there. It's interesting because when I plug in the sources for these, everything goes to like a government site or a medical site, except for the United States. And when I go to the United States, you know where it goes?
Where?
Facebook.
Really? That's pretty interesting.
It's pretty crazy, yeah. So you go right to Facebook and then you have a conference there.
Well, that is the news source for
That is
for
the
many
news source
people.
for many, many people.
Might be a better source because it's a correlation of people sharing news than the programmed
Yeah,
news
perhaps so.
propaganda that you get when you tune into the fake news media.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
very
a problem for sure, and there's a lot of that stuff going around. But I wanted to kind of go over a few
Let's
things.
talk about one thing. Some good news is that the majority of the people are recovering.
Yeah,
Because the coronavirus is the virus of the common cold, and yet there are a couple strands that are quite lethal.
and they're lethal to different types of people. People are already usually
And
sick.
that's it.
Yeah.
Because
So if you're
Bouchon,
relatively healthy,
it's the environment.
yeah,
The body. If your body is not healthy and is a hospitable host to a virus,
Yeah.
it will replicate.
Yeah, and I think about myself. I figure myself pretty healthy, and yet every spring I get this little earache, and it's usually from pollen because I go in the pool and the pollen gets in there. And I've had this for about 4 or 5 days. And of course, what you think about is, now, is this an entrance place? You know, is my ear now, do I plug up my ear?
Well, you've
What's
got
going on?
inflammation there.
Yeah, I got inflammation, so that might be an area where if I contact somebody, it might just pop in there. I don't know.
Well, and it might just be a good idea. Like you said, you take the Primal Edge, which is kind of a surveillance product that will go out there and say, hey, you're a bad guy.
Yeah.
You're a positively charged particle, and you're not good for me, so it'll help escort it out. So that's a good
So
point.
in our area, we have 2 people in the surrounding counties that have up. One of the medical people said this morning, well, you know, we're testing people because we don't have much tests, so we're not testing a lot of people. And he said if we tested people, probably every 3rd person probably be, you know, positive for that.
Because it is the same virus of the common cold.
Right.
And that's what we got to keep.
Well, remember that this test is specific to this type of corona. not the common cold type, but this particular one. So if you get it, you're getting this particular strain. And you may have the other strains too, and whether that makes any difference or not, I don't really know. So,
Yeah.
so we've got a few sites here talking about home prepping, talking about what kind of medicinals or herbs or supplements you might take, also some about sanitation,
Right.
about isolating yourself. So let's talk about a few
this
things.
was this collation article in Peak Prosperity. They had a couple of blogs that people might want to look up. You can throw this in the newsletter.
Yeah.
How contagious is the coronavirus? And the coronavirus is actually a pandemic, the article says. And how will the coronavirus impact the markets? Might be
Yes.
interesting to those of you that are part of the Tiger Financial News Network listeners. And, I think now, let's just talk about a couple of things that people probably you don't think about.
Well, one of the first things I think about, and they mentioned it here, the use of the keypads and the touch screens and all
Yeah,
these
you're going
devices.
to the store.
Yeah, not even the store, but just your own. You have to clean it. Do you pass it on to somebody else? Here's a phone. There's a phone's for you. That doesn't happen so much anymore.
Right.
Do you use other people's pads? I don't know. But certainly, if you go to the bank, if you go to the store, you're touching these pads.
Because the viruses actually do live longer on metal and plastic surfaces than
Maybe
they do
9 days,
on
they
cloth.
say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Interesting.
yeah. So.
Might it be prudent to wear gloves, it says, or pay with cash or both? And of course, you got to think about who's touching the cash as well. The cash is handled by people as well.
Yeah,
It makes
in
it
fact,
kind of,
there was a story that the Chinese were burning most of the cash, getting a lot of people onto the, of course, credit system, and not using cash at all, but also making some new cash that's clean, supposedly. But as soon as they distribute the cash, isn't it dirty? I mean,
it all sounds pretty.
Yeah.
And that's what my point is. I feel like the fear and the responses are so extraordinary and so, in some cases, over the top, that's what's going to drive, the sensationalism over the fear of what this could be is actually it.
And I don't think we should go overboard, but certainly last week I went out and got some Clorox, I got some alcohol, I got some extra water, I got some extra food, just in case. I mean, I don't think I'm hoarding anything. I think I've got probably cans for maybe 6 months. I've got fresh food.
Yeah, I wouldn't tell anybody what you got because according to David Devine over there, everyone's like banging down people's doors.
Yeah, well.
The degradation.
I got
that
my
he's
shotgun
been,
by the door. So
yeah,
no problem.
he's been projecting, based
Yeah.
on, and David Devine, as you know, is one of the sources that we have shared with you.
Yeah.
Adapt 2030 has talked about the fact that the global warming story is a hoax. It is a scam. And that the truth of the weather is, in fact, controlled by solar cycles, very much like in the Middle Ages when we had the pandemic. This was based on viruses grow in an atmosphere where the sun
certainly do.
is sleepy, and that's where we're going.
Yep.
So it's creating the perfect storm.
Yeah, and it's not only Adapt 2030. We're talking about suspicious observers.
Oh, no, these guys were on podcasts. They're all
Yeah.
sharing the information, but what they both say is societies are degrading in the way they're treating each other as a result of being unprepared. So probably prudent to do some preparing.
Yeah, so when we get back, let's go over some of the things that we should do ourselves.
Good idea.
Okay, we'll be right back.
in a few.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartleys, ABCs, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com. Will the S&P 500 continue to climb? For bold trades on U.S. large-cap stocks in either direction, trade SPXL, SPUU, or SPXS. Directions Daily S&P 500 Bull and Bear Leveraged ETFs. Direction Leveraged ETFs. An investor should carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risks, charges, and expenses before investing. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a fund's prospectus and summary prospectus, call 866-476-7523 or visit directioninvestments.com. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
So we've been talking about things that we could do. Instead of just listening to the news, scaring you into just giving you statistics, let's talk about some action plans you can do.
I'm just thinking ahead here. So I'm thinking somebody comes up to you and takes a test and says, okay, you have it, now go home and self-isolate for 60 days.
Right.
How many Americans are actually going to do that?
And how many people would be prepared to do that?
There you go.
Because right now, if you try to go on Amazon and put in face masks, they don't even come up.
No.
But, you know, here's this
they
guy.
come up for $600.
Actually, for me, they didn't even show up.
Oh, really?
Oh, really? They come up.
I had ordered mine in January.
Yeah.
Never got them.
Hey, capitalism. People are buying them and hoarding them and selling them off. You know, so
Okay, let's go through
here's a guy who says, face mask. He stopped by an auto parts store today and got some masks, and he paid $1.59, or actually he bought a box of 20, and he'll be outfitting close friends. So think about other
right now,
trades.
If you go to to Home Depot, they have them there.
Yeah.
Maybe some of the other stores don't.
They may or may not be of the grit.
Well, it's the N95, and you know, these masks are not for everybody to wear. They're for the people who are actually sick to wear, to keep the stuff in.
Well, keep in mind, yeah, exactly. That's why doctors wear it, in case they have a virus not to spread it to you.
Exactly.
And the point of it is what we were saying earlier, as we know, we don't get sick because we spread germs or we catch a germ. Mm-hmm. We get sick because our terrain is hospitable to the germ. Yeah. It's Beauchamp. The germ theory, Pasteur was wrong.
That's right.
Beauchamp was right. Fix your terrain, make sure your terrain is not hospitable.
And I think I've proved that to myself over the last decade, just that I don't get sick much, and I think it has to do with how we eat and what we're taking. There's no doubt about it.
It's true, like you said, the face masks do not work so much.
So face masks are shown to help, have not been shown to help. Wash your hands, and wash your hands. That's
and wash your hands.
And I heard a doctor say, if you in the lab, he says, when we're washing our hands for 2 minutes and you have the coronavirus on you, it doesn't actually leave. It has to be 4 minutes. Where on the news, they're all saying 20 seconds. Mm-hmm. Have you ever tried to wash your hands for 4 minutes?
Yeah,
I mean, that's like watching a movie. It's unbelievable.
But I think probably applying like an essential oil gel right afterwards would help.
That's why I was really interested in what you had to say. I noticed
we'll get to that.
Yeah, okay. Good.
You know, but here's some other do's and don'ts of what to do during a pandemic. Let's actually talk about taking actions. you know, it may take 6 to 9 months for this thing to burn out, burn through the markets, burn through the economy. Sure, food, toiletries, cash should be stocked up on so we can avoid going into town. Here are some other things that you can do to be prepared.
Yeah, so get your car tuned up, have your oil changed, buy
Have
some
some extra
oil.
gas.
I called my purveyor for my propane. I noticed it was down about half. I said, hey, you know, if the power goes out, I need
Get
to have
prescription
that.
drugs filled.
Yeah.
Get your annual or regular doctor's visit taken care of. That might make you more sick going into their office, but
Get the septic tank pumped, and maybe your own septic tank, too. You might-
fix things that are broken that could become a problem if things got a little squirrely. And that's what David Devine said. I was listening to him this morning when I was taking my bath and waking up. You know, he said he was amazed at how the degradation in the behavior of the people in the areas hit were behaving. And that's how we have to realize people are not going to be nice, you know?
Yeah. And I saw some videos in China of people being taken away and what was going on there. When they tell these people to go home and self-isolate, the police actually come and seal them in. Now, if they see the seal broken, they give you one warning, but the second time, they take you away, and I don't blame them for that. You know, so
Well, I think containment and hunkering in and quarantine is a smart move.
Yeah.
A town did it.
But we're really not used to that here in America,
No.
hunkering in that much.
Yeah, buy some board games because your cell phones might not work.
Yeah. Stock up on some movies and things like that.
And you know, one of the things you can do is if you get sick, you might be willing to consider some of these things that you can do. You know.
Go to the dentist and get your checkup, go to the eye exam. Now, of course, if you're already in the zone where a lot of people have this, you probably wouldn't want to go to the eye doctor and go to the dentist.
Well, that's what I was
This is
just saying.
beforehand,
Yeah, the reality is going to the doctor is probably going to be an exposure point. But let's talk about what's going on over here. Based on some of what they've been hearing, this author writes, many people in China who get the virus are way too sick to care for themselves, so we've discussed how we would trust to look in on someone we would trust if we were sick. Have a plan with some other friends and family members. Hey,
Neighbors,
we're going to...
perhaps. Yeah.
Well, really, the tribal thing is a good idea, of course. And who would be willing to reciprocate the care? You know, if they got sick, if you got sick. And that's kind of an important move.
And they've got a thing here that is a preparation article, and I'll throw that into the next newsletter.
It does a greater job explaining the length. It provides lists how to provide care at home while avoiding hospitals that will be overwhelmed. And, you know, emergency first aid is so important, and so many people are not prepared for that.
Yeah, and this list is at moneycrashers.com/prepare-next-pandemic. And so you can get that. N95 respirators. Get them with an exhalation valve if possible. A lot of them don't have that valve in there, and I think that valve's important probably for you. It's much easier to breathe, otherwise it comes out the sides. Just makes sense.
Right.
They're a little bit more pricey, of course.
Yeah.
What's the difference between each mask? More complicated than they thought, this doctor says. I never knew that the N, the R, and the P classifications. Never heard of N95, but now there's N99 and N100.
Yeah, it could get pretty crazy. Probably the best thing right now is buy whatever mask you can have, just to have something, right?
Yeah, and you know, the healthcare providers right now are saying you don't need to wear it unless you have the virus itself.
Yeah,
So
and
that
that's a
makes
really
sense.
good point. People, or you're concerned that you could be transmitting. You know, you have a little bit of a sniffle, like you said. You've got something going on in your ear. Do you have something brewing?
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you
And of
have a
course-
coronavirus? Because remember, the
It's like
cold
could.
is the coronavirus.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think probably 70% of us right now probably do have it. And we're probably just spreading it around like crazy. So my thought is that everybody's probably going to get this, and maybe 85%, 90%, whatever it is. I say everybody.
All right, well, let's go to that other
But
site,
first,
though.
you know, it's important to realize that 50% of you will be no problem. Those other 50% will get some kind of sickness and not feel good. Half of those people will probably get serious. Half of those will be intensive care, and only a few of those will die. Right now, it's about 2.4% out of 100. So 2.5 out of 100 are going to be
Yeah,
dead.
and this is a rather dire article that you posted in here, Hal Turner radio show. Hal Turner radio show. You know, here's some, you know, this is the kind of stuff that we're hearing on the news, repeated over and over again to keep you in a state of fear, which, by the way, fear is a frequency, and viruses, by the way, are a frequency. All living life is a frequency set. And the question is, does that frequency create stress in your body? A virus? Does the fear? Absolutely.
Yeah, so this disease is about 83% infection rate. That means out of 100 merely exposed to it, 83 will get sick. Of those who get sick, half will get so sick they will need the hospital. Half of those will get intensive care. Just like I said before, what I want to do after the break is really go into this a little bit and then talk about some solutions that we can do ourselves.
Exactly.
Okay, so we'll be right back. Stick around, folks. Get some Primal Edge during the break. Important now.
Would like to tell you about the personal training studio that Nico is the owner and president of, Performance Training. Since 1998, Nico has trained individuals and groups to improve their health both mentally and physically. As a certified personal trainer, Nico's main focus is on demonstrating exercises correctly to avoid injury and teaching his clients how to manage their past injuries while getting the most out of their personal training sessions. The Performance Training Studio is filled with unique training equipment that enhances balanced results at a faster rate while minimizing damage and discomfort. For more information, you can give Nico a call at 727-418-8740 or email him at nico@tfnn.com. Let him know you heard him on TFNN and save up to $100 on a special package just for TFNN listeners. Act today. If you're not currently using the TAS Profile Scanner when looking at setting up your trading opportunities, then your arsenal is short a mighty weapon. The TAS Profile Scanner is a standalone piece of software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Headed by Steve Dahl, TAS understands that in today's technological world, the use of top-flight software applications and technical analysis expertise is essential to successful trading in today's market. You also gain access to the webinar that Steve Dahl and Tom O'Brien just hosted, The Best Way to Use the TAS Profile Scanner to Profit. This webinar archive is available for all subscribers immediately upon signing up. All new subscriptions also come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Start your subscription by visiting the front page of TFNN.com today, and you'll find the TAS Profile Scanner under the Services tab. Sign up today. Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And we're talking about the coronavirus. We talked about the fact, and gave you some disease facts. We talked about the fact that it's ultra contagious, even living upwards of 9 days outside a human body. And let's talk a little bit now about how you infect others without symptoms.
Yeah, and remember what you said earlier. This is the common cold virus. It's a different strain of it, but that's, remember
Or
the
we're
common...
told it's a different strain.
Well, yeah, and I think it is because of the testing.
Is it, or is it weaponized by the 5G networks?
It could be. It certainly could be. That's
5G
that's where it came from. So.
Wuhan was the city where they rolled it out.
Yeah, but that's not helpful to get people to understand what we're going to do here.
Right.
There's a number of people who contract this virus, they start shedding it before they even get symptoms. So the infected person doesn't know.
Well, that's pretty much the way all viruses are.
And that's
You're
the way
shedding.
the common cold is, for sure. Doctors measure how many people are typically infected by one sick person, and then they record it as an R. And it's the R naught that we're talking about. We're talking about 2.4 is what they're thinking.
Yeah, and R4 and R6 means one infected person can be expected to infect between 4 and 6 other people.
Right.
That's why we see the exponentiation in the growth and spread of things like this.
Now, the troubling thing here is the disease also sheds from infected people by way of urine, feces. So you go into a common bathroom or a stranger's bathroom, and you're likely to get infected. That's pretty sure thing. Because if you're touching any of the surfaces, you know, when you flush the toilet, if you don't put that toilet lid down, this stuff goes everywhere. And that's the way we live. And that's not a bad way to live, except when things like this happen.
Right. Yeah, that's something to really think about.
Yeah.
And here's some hospital facts. In the United States, there are only 2.4 hospital beds per 1,000 people.
Yeah, so as the numbers rise, 83% infection rate, 1,000 people get exposed, 830 will get sick, and about half of those 400 will need hospital beds, and half of those 200s in the ICU. We don't have a lot of ICUs either.
Yeah.
And this is where all the countries, so this is not just endemic to the United States, all the countries have this same thing. We're
Right.
not really prepared. The one that's probably doing the best job happens to be probably South Korea, because they have everybody on at least one system. And this kind of, I think this virus does show you that people should be on a system in a country, and it should be the same system for everybody, and everybody should be treated very similarly. You know, that's the way I see it. It's kind of like a right for people to be healthy, I think. That's my personal opinion.
So what we just said is that due to the lack of the ability to deliver hospital or acute care for people who truly are sick, and in that maybe we need to learn how to take care of people with this at home, because the death rate, instead of being, what did you say the death rate was?
About 2.4.
2.4%, similar to the cold or the flu, and less actually than the flu.
Well, the flu is more, but the common cold is way less.
Yeah, so, but for those people in Wuhan, China, the epicenter, also a place where the 5G deployment has been released, people who needed hospital care but who could not get it because the hospitals were full, the death rate jumped to 62%. So that's, you know, again, it's in the failed infrastructure.
Right.
So, you know, it's a terrible reality. It's something that we need to think about and learn how we can take care of each other in our homes.
Yeah, and so there's some new developments. Since the outbreak began, scientists have studied this virus like no other, and they're
They say it's
finding...
biphasic. It has 2 phases.
Yeah, finding that the virus appears to be just like 2 phases. Thank you.
The way anthrax was. Hey, wasn't anthrax another lab-created virus?
I think so.
Yeah.
The first phase causes fever, cough, congestion in the lungs, and muscle twitches and pain. Then it seems to go away, but it really doesn't go away. They show no trace.
Yeah, and then the people get released from the hospital. They're showing no trace of the active virus. Suddenly they drop dead on the streets from heart failure.
And that's the second phase of the virus.
It attacks the vital organs.
Kidneys mostly. And the person feels achy again, tired again. So it's very much like a typical flu. Figuring it will pass, and this is where the danger point is. So if you
And
get
they
it the
go about
second
their
time,
daily life.
Yeah, so
Well, they don't get it a second time. They get into the second phase.
well, the second phase, but what it does, that first phase weakens you enough, and then it kind of goes dormant for a little while, and then it pokes its head up, and then it's worse, and that's when you really need to go to the hospital.
And it says what's actually taking place inside the body is the disease is sending them into sepsis. Sepsis is an infection, and they drop dead from septic shock and organ failure.
Yeah,
So it's survival of the fittest.
that's what it is.
Everybody wants to be amongst the fittest. We are in
Here's the
for,
ultimate test right here.
as this author says very dramatically, we're in for a terrible life-altering situation. Many, many people are going to get terribly sick and die. Almost none of us have ever lived through a real pandemic. Well, folks, we've been saying that why is this happening? Because the solar situation is ripe for a pandemic. We've been saying this for how many years?
Well,
5,
the
6, 8
shield
years?
of our Earth is compromised, and a lot of stuff from space, which are very irritating molecules. They're mostly little metals, and they get irritated, and they get into these droplets, and they drop to Earth, and they really do affect us. And when you look back in history, all these pandemics normally come during solar minimums. Maybe a small solar minimum, but now we think we're going to be heading into a real grand solar minimum. So
listen to this, guys. All right, so talk about the survival of the fittest, not just the physically fittest, but the mentally fittest. A lot of people in America are going to die because mentally they cannot or will not see the facts as they are. They will refuse to plan with emergency food and water. They will refuse to wear filter masks. They will refuse to comply with quarantines. The mentally unfit will likely die off at larger levels than the physically unfit. Their tombstones will read, died because he was stupid.
yeah, and it brings me to mind, of course, we kind of go nuts with all this technology, too. We're looking at these things, and it makes us anxious. We look at Facebook and Twitter and all these things, and people are talking about horrible things and maybe great things, but our excitement is way up.
Well,
You know, whether it's negative excitement or positive excitement doesn't really matter. We're just excited, and now this virus comes in. It's excited, and it clamps onto us because of all this excitement
The stress,
and stress.
the stress frequency.
The stress, that's what I'm talking about.
And they know that. So my argument or beef is that I think right now the fear, just like in that article, is out of proportion with the actual presentation. But the way that we balance that, counterbalance that weight, is we prepare. We think about all of these things, and we individually take responsibility, because if we all take care of ourselves, then we are less of a threat to everyone else.
Yeah, and if you're in a situation where you don't have to go to work for a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, say a month, maybe 2 months, if you're able to do that, the stress is not as high. But imagine in low-income people who have to work, who are the slaves of our society, then the anxiety goes way up.
Absolutely.
Now, not only do you have the disease, and you might contract it to your kids and your other relatives, your neighbors, your friends, but now there's no money coming in. And that really adds to the stress. Are you going to go to the hospital? Yeah, you'll probably go to the emergency room when the time comes, and that's the other stress of the system that we have here, too.
When we come back, we're going to talk about a novel coronavirus aromatherapy guide from a Hong Kong clinical aromatherapist. Remember, in most of the world, aromatherapy is serious medicine.
Yeah.
And we're going to give you a couple tips about what we're hearing is
Talking
working.
about solutions.
Yes, we'll be back after this break. Pick up some of the Primal Edge, get our Health Signals newsletter. Stay tuned in to Good Health so you can stay healthy in trading. We'll be right back.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
The gold market has taken off topside in a large way in 2020. If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my gold report. The gold report took profits in 4 of its equities in the gold portfolio in the first week of January for a combined profit of 99.2%, with 2 positions left in the portfolio that have a profit of 67.5% as of January 7th. The Gold Report is a comprehensive look at the metals sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the Gold Report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, GDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the Gold Report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back. Let's go over this article that I put in here that was submitted by a clinical aromatherapist, Emma Ross, and it was posted in a Facebook group in Hong Kong. And a few words about viruses. You know, since there's no current studies on the novel coronavirus, we have to kind of look at the influenza virus as the best way to deal with viral infections. And the first line of defense should always be washing your hands, Nico. Yep. But the media is awash with advice on what works and what doesn't. But if you're interested in using essential oils, which have been proven time and time again effective against bacteria and viruses as a first line of defense or an additional line of defense to try and avoid being infected by the virus, here's some of the things you need to know. And I want to preface this with, there's a kind of a well-known essential oil combination that's better known as thieves oil.
Okay, yeah.
And you remember why it's called thieves oil, right?
It takes away the thing, steals the viruses out of your body?
Well, that's cute, but that's not why.
That's not why? Okay.
It became, this particular recipe of 4 or 5 oils were used heavily during the Black Plague.
Oh.
So in those days, which were also a grand solar minimum,
right,
when the Black Plague was spreading, there were thieves that were robbing all the dead people's homes. They were going in to where people had died from the plague and stealing all their gold and jewels, and they weren't getting infected. And people were like, how are they not getting it? Well, they were coating themselves and breathing the essential oils, and therefore they never succumbed to the plague, and they became rich thieves.
Wow.
So in order to use essential oils to potentially help to avoid being infected with seasonal flu or coronavirus, you want to consider that viruses have a life cycle. And it's a highly simplified version here, but it enters the host, and it binds with a cell in the respiratory tract.
Nose, throat, lungs.
And then the surface protein of the virus binds to a receptor, kind of like a lock and key.
Yeah, then the virus is able to enter the cell and infect it.
Yeah, you got it.
Yep.
And there are certain components of a variety of essential oils that have been shown clinically to disrupt the viral life cycle at different stages, okay? So as a result, it can be helpful to use a blend of different essential oils. And the virus must have a host to replicate. As I said earlier, it's the terrain in the body, not the germ. If you have a great terrain, the host is not going to be hospitable to the guest.
Also,
and the guest is going to have to leave.
When the virus is on a surface, it's not multiplying. It's only multiplying when it gets into the host.
Yeah, it can live on an inanimate surface for potentially more than 24 hours, as we just heard, 9 days, they're saying. Yep. But it will eventually die without a host to infect. So you want to make sure that you, as a host, are not a hospitable host. Yep. And they live longer on the hard surface, blah, blah, blah. We've covered that. Yep. So the don'ts of essential oils. Do not mix essential oils with water in a room cleaning spray. A lot of people don't know this. Without using an agent to disperse the essential oils, they will sit on top of the water and they will not mix simply by shaking the bottle. You have to have a little bit of carrier oil in there. So more concerning is that any water-based products will start to grow microbes in and around 24 hours. So you could be spraying bacteria and mold instead. So using alcohol in the mix will not help to disperse or preserve the spray either. And don't make your own hand gel with essential oils. The strength at which you would need to use essential oils in order to kill off the virus would likely be irritating to the skin. Yes, you will see essential oils and hand gels for sale in pharmacies, but these will have been safely formulated, contain a lot of alcohol, and have been tested for safety, efficacy, and microbial activity.
Yeah, so don't use strong essential oils such as cinnamon bark and clove bud without considering the safety implications. They should not be used by anyone on blood thinning medication, and they're extremely irritated to the skin.
That's exactly right. We have to be concerned about the topical safety of essential oils, and especially the internal application.
And don't believe these essential oils recipes that you read online, because these things are powerful, and you really need to know what you're doing. So
they may not be safe for children, breastfeeding mothers. Again, I want to preface this with, and I am an aromatherapist, a trained aromatherapist, and aromatherapy in France, for example, is a prescription medicine. We've got people running around making do-it-yourself things, and that's okay for a few things and highly dilute, but quite frankly, they can become endocrine disruptors, and they need to be used by people that know what they're doing.
Don't put these on your mask.
Don't put them on neat. Neat means directly on the skin. I'm going to say lavender is probably the only oil that you can apply neat, and perhaps on a burn that could be a real good move.
And it's nice to
But you always have to have a carrier oil, and I like to say, even if it's olive oil from your kitchen.
Yeah, well, sesame oil works well too.
Exactly.
Those are good oils. And don't think that more is better. Less is definitely, this applies to the essential oils. There's no need to use a whole bunch of stuff. You can use just a little bit.
And other people are diffusing essential oils in their houses, but you do have to be careful with certain oils, although tea tree has been identified as being an oil through one of my focus groups tea tree is having a good efficacy against the coronavirus.
Yeah, and you can put it on your skin, doesn't hurt you. I've used it before, so.
Well, yeah, a lot of people don't know, but you have to be careful because some essential oils can be very irritating to cats and dogs, particularly cats are very sensitive to essential oils. So do be careful if you have pets in the house.
So let's go through some of these recommended antiviral essential oils that people can use.
The do's of essential oils, okay? If you do want to use antiviral oils in the home, it is best to run the diffuser with the doors shut while the room is empty and then air the room afterwards. In other words, use the diffused essential oils as a disinfectant. Plastic inhalers, I make those for people. Like when I travel, the little inhalers, maybe you can scroll down and show that. Is that here? Where is it?
Yeah, right there.
You can buy these. These are very helpful because this type of inhalation, the olfaction we call it, where you're getting it into the neural system by inhaling it through your nose, is very powerful. And they can be safe and efficient. This will ensure that the oils are taken into the body via the respiratory system, where they are most needed to kill viruses and prevent it from invading the body. And do use your inhalers, but you can make these. I give them to people that come into my office.
When I first met you, you gave me mine.
Yes, and if the inhaler is too strong, it's possible to make a blend of essential oils that are diluted in a carrier oil in a roller ball, and applying it to the skin around the base of the nose, around the neck, on the wrists, so that's kind of a gentle diffusion. And even as a crude and simple option, you could put a couple drops of neat tea tree oil or lavender onto a tissue and inhale directly from that, or tuck it into your clothing, or place it next to the bedside at night. So the inhalation, I do believe, is one of the safer ways to use essential oils. And you do have to. Now let's talk about some of the oils that are known to have antiviral activity. We mentioned cinnamon and clove bud. Again,
cinnamon bark, clove bud.
Yeah.
Eucalyptus is another one.
Yeah, but remember, some of those are very sensitive to the skin. Eucalyptus globulus and radiata. I like to recommend radiata if you're not sick, globulus if you become sick.
Okay.
Lemon and lemon myrtle manuka. You've heard
Manuka
about the
honey.
power of manuka honey, right? Melissa. Melissa is great for herpes, by the way,
Sweet
too.
Melissa.
Very good at viruses. Sweet Melissa, exactly. Naoli, Ravensara, rosemary, great for the memory.
Yeah, some of these I've never
Tea
heard of.
tree and thymol and linalool. These are all very effective antiviral essential oils.
Yeah, so when we get back, I'll talk a little bit about when you're traveling and what you should do. So we'll be right back.
I'm certain you are or strive to be one of the best at everything you do in life. It's the most common trait that we tigers and tigresses share. If you're looking to become the best of the best when it comes to managing your money, let me teach you to do what most wealth managers tell you can't be done, which is how to time the markets. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, and for the last 12 months, Timer Digest has been tracking my newsletter signals, which have earned me the ranking as their #1 market timer in the nation for the S&P 500 for the last 12, 6, and 3 months. Timer Digest also ranks me as the #1 market timer for gold as well. The fact is, markets can be timed, and I'll teach you the exact set of tools that I use that has transformed me into one of the best at what I do. Sign up for Mastering Probability today by clicking on the newsletter tab on the homepage of TFNN.com and get immediate access to workshops where I take you step by step how to use an extraordinary set of tools as well as provide great market calls too. Sign up today.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get 'em, folks.
TFNN has developed a daily programming lineup for traders by traders. We start every trading day live at 8:30 a.m. with Tommy O'Brien hosting the morning market kickoff as he starts the day off by breaking down everything you need to know about what's going on for the trading day ahead. At 9 a.m., Larry Pesavento takes your calls and questions live on the air for the opening bell as he hosts Trade What You See. At 10 a.m., Tom and Tommy O'Brien host the Bull Bear Trading Hour. At 11 a.m., it's Kevin Hinks and Alex Coffey from TD Ameritrade Network with Fast Market. Basil Chapman at noon with the Tiger Technicians Hour. Steve Rhodes hosts the Trader's Edge at 1 p.m. Dave White with the Power Trading Hour at 2 p.m. And Tom O'Brien closes out the day for the final hour of trading live from 3 till 4. Don't miss a second of our daily programming lineup. Tune in to Tiger TV every trading day live at TFNN.com. Educating investors.
So welcome back. So this is just some of the stuff I'm using. My wife is traveling a little bit. She's going to get on a plane in a week or so, and I'm concerned about that. So I thought, let's get some stuff to help her. And I've been following this guy. It's My Doctor Suggests, and he's wrote a couple of books on silver, and he uses structured water with the silver. These are really good products, I think. And this is the thing I bought: 2 bottles. This is a month's supply. Some soap. And some gel. The gel is nice because you can put it in your ear, you can put it in your mouth, you can put it around your eyes even.
Well, I'd love to talk more about silver because
yeah, I know you do.
I told you, I have a love for silver. Actually, I collect silver.
I know you do.
Oh, and I was polishing it, and I literally, after the silver fumes, when I woke up the next morning, my sheets were silver. So I was out. So I probably gave myself a little dose of silver oxide. Who knows if it was a good point. You know what I did? I took a mud bath afterwards. Oh. Just to pull.
Yeah. And I'm thinking enemas and things like that are healthy ways of getting some stuff out of you too.
Well, there was a reason that our silverware was silverware.
Right.
It was antibacterial.
Right.
That was the reason the cowboys took a nickel and put it in their canteens to purify their water.
Exactly.
Here you go.
Yeah,
Silver is a great addition to your medicine cabinet, folks. Essential oils, iodine, great natural antibiotic, and silver, also natural antibiotic, antiviral, all of these things. These are what we do, folks. We know the statistics, if we can't get medical help, are pretty dire. So we need to become our own medicine doctors. We need to take care of our friends and our family and learn some basic first aid and learn what they do. I mean, some of the simple things that they do when someone gets into a hospital is they administer salt and magnesium. So have your Epsom salts, have your healthy pink salts that you can help people get these minerals in their bodies.
Yeah, so if you're traveling, this is a good solution. It's a good solution anyway. You know, it's a little pricey, but everything's pretty pricey. But this gives you some silver which you can drink. It's a good solution. Some for your hands, and of course the little gels, which I think is really good because that kind of
And it gives you a little
area.
book. I think everyone should be familiar with the Health Benefits Silver.
Yeah.
That's our show, folks.
Yeah,
We'll
so
see ya.
go to My Prosperity, or this one is called MyDoctorSuggest.com. Check that out and pick up the Primal Edge. And we'll be back next week.
Have a great
Thanks for
week.
sticking around. Bye-bye. Hey.